Are you kidding me? I hope you guys are having a good day because if you are, it is about to get even better because RFK Jr. just addressed HHS today, live and in person, and I just thought this was incredible. This is a message filled with unity. It was filled with a hope. It was filled with a declaration for transparency, and I just think this is incredible. He was casting so much vision in this moment, and I'm so excited to share it. And I'm also excited because a lot of these clips seem to be going viral all over X, and I'm super, super pumped about that. But I'm also pumped because of another thing, and I want to go ahead and share this. So recently, RFK Jr. was on a Fox Premium show called The Ingram Angle, and it was good. But what I'm really excited about is yesterday, Fox News shared a new video sharing a couple of those clips, but also they brought on former CDC director explaining RFK Jr.'s plan and pretty much why he just has so much hope and faith in RFK Jr. And I just think this is a really, really great thing to watch and experience. So I'm excited to go ahead and share that. But I wanted to start here with this morning's HHS call because I just think this is so much good stuff. So let's go ahead and I'll bring it back to the beginning. I saw this piece from End Tribalism in Politics. He says this is a much watch. RFK Jr. addresses HHS call with a call for unity and open dialogue. Amazing. So let's go to watch it. Also, real quick, guys, if you like having conversations like this, please consider subscribing and liking. It really means the world to me. All right, check this out.
The world. Let me say one more thing about politicization, and this is personal. As you know, I've come through a very highly polarized confirmation process. The fog of narrative warfare has made it hard to get a sense of who I am and what I believe and what I represent. A lot of times when I read these articles characterizing me, I think to myself, I wouldn't want to work for that guy either.
Time out. I gotta pause it here just because I don't think RFK Jr. gets enough credit for how funny he is. The crowd literally erupted whenever he made it's such a beautiful but such a subtle joke. And I'm just gonna bring it back 10 seconds in case you might have missed it, but it is so good.
Represent. A lot of times when I read these articles characterizing me, I think to myself, I wouldn't want to work for that guy either. So, since we all are here together, I have a request to make from you, my new colleagues. Let's start a relationship by letting go of any preconceptions that you may have about me, and let's start from square one. Let's establish a mutual intention to work toward what we all care about, the health of the American people. In return, I want to make a promise to all of you. It's also about preconceptions. I'll start by acknowledging that throughout my career, I've asked a lot of difficult questions, and I've come to a lot of unpopular conclusions. I'm going to keep asking those kind of questions. What I promise to you now is to hold my preconceived answers lightly. I promise to be willing to be wrong. I promise to listen to all the stakeholders, all the parties to the conversation, including the ones, especially the ones with whom I've disagreed in the past. I promise to keep an open mind toward every possibility and every contingency. I hope you will all join me in this commitment because the health of our people is a lot more important than being right or being vindicated.
Did you hear that? That last line, the health of our people, it depends or it's worth more it's worth more than being right. This is so good. I loved this so much. There's so many things that I really want to pull out and kind of highlight from this moment. For one, we talked about this on the channel the other day, right? How there's kind of this pattern in brilliant people where it's not so much about the answers that they arrive at, it's more so about the questions that they ask. And right here, you see RFK Jr. saying that he's just not going to apologize for asking questions because I really think that's one of his gifts. But he also has a respect for arriving at an answer that just makes sense, and he's not trying to prove people wrong, but he's just trying to do right by the American people. And I just love how committed he is to that conversation. I think that is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so I also want to share this moment. I saw this from the New York Post. I'll just play I just want to play the first few seconds. Check this out.
So my main mission at HHS, in which I hope that you will all join me, is to reverse the chronic disease epidemic in America. How are we going to do that? It isn't by replacing one paradigm with another one by force. I'm not going to come in here and impose my belief over any of yours. Instead, we're going to work together to launch a new era of radical transparency.
There we go. And I feel like I'm like kind of saying the same thing over again in all these videos because it's like, oh, transparency here, transparency here, transparency here. I can't help but just think that transparency is such a core frequency in the Trump administration. And I think we just got to continue to honor it and to see RFK Jr. like continue that conversation and carry it through HHS. I think that is phenomenal. And in this past clip, where RFK Jr. says that he has a promise to an open, he's committing to keeping an open mind, even whenever he's wrong, he's completely okay with that. And I just got to say, I love that so much. There's this other there's this other clip that I want to share from End Tribalism, where RFK Jr. says that HHS will use DOGE technology to improve Medicare and Medicaid. So I think this is amazing. And again, you see this overlap where DOGE isn't just something that's cutting XYZ. No, it's actually being used as a tool to make the existing resources better. You hear me? It's not about cutting things, it's about making things better for HHS. And I love it. Before I share that clip, I do want to say, guys, I just uploaded a new newsletter and I love this conversation so much. It's about architects versus archaeologists because I do think there's two different types of people. There's people who kind of plan things, and then there's people who dig things up. There's people who hunt and unearth things. And I think right now in politics, we really are seeing this era of archaeologists, honestly. And when I think of kind of like who is an architect these days, I think the architects are kind of like, oh, like Barack Obama was an architect. I think Kamala Harris was trying to be an architect because she was trying to cast all this vision. But then you have archaeologists, the people who are trying to break things. Elon Musk is like, no, this doesn't make any sense. Let's go and uncover it. RFK Jr. is like what's going on with this agency? Like we gotta know more. We gotta uncover some truth. We gotta unwrap it. If you guys have ever read RFK Jr.'s book, The Real Anthony Fauci, I have it behind me. A lot of that is unpacking things. It's digging things out, and that's why he's a prime example of being an architect and an archaeologist. And I just think this is a really interesting conversation. We got some people in the comments talking about this as well, so I think that's awesome. So if you want, you can go ahead and check it out. It is, I think it's a really good newsletter, and you can sign up for free. So check this out. The newsletter and the videos are free to you, but they're not necessarily free for me to produce. So I do want to say, if you're someone who's been blessed in an incredible way financially, would love to build out this future with me, I would love for you to consider becoming a paid subscriber. Okay, so I just wanted to say that real quick. Sorry if I took too much time. Let's get back to RFK Jr. Okay, this is him on RFK on HHS and DOGE.
HHS is the home to programs like Medicare and Medicaid. Between them, serve over 160 million Americans. The same DOGE technology that has uncovered vast amounts of waste and fraud can be used to better serve our fellow citizens who depend on these programs to make sure that no one is left behind and no one is left out. We will aim to set a standard of courtesy, efficiency, professionalism, and integrity that will make HHS again the envy of the world.
There we go. Courtesy, integrity, and efficiency. I love to hear it. So now I want to go ahead and kind of move into what I saw from Fox News. There's a couple of clips of RFK Jr. from the Ingram angle, and definitely want to share that. But I do want to go ahead and start here. Check this out.
I'm interested in our moving away the people who have made really bad decisions. For example, on the nutrition guidelines, people who have, there's people at NIH that were involved in the amyloid plaque scandals that derailed Alzheimer's treatment for 20 years. It's all corruption. Those kind of people need to be moved.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. discussing his plans for the National Institutes of Health and its employees as the newly sworn in Secretary of Health and Human Services. And for more on this, we welcome Dr. Robert Redfield, who previously was the head over at the CDC as well. Doctor, so great to have you with us this afternoon. There are a number of directions we could take this conversation, but in the interest of brevity, I think it's important that we acknowledge there are millions of Americans who are incredibly, intensely interested in what's going to be happening at HHS with Bobby Jr. Over at the helm. What's your impression of what you're hearing, not just from your friends in the administration, but also broadly in the medical community about the change?
Yeah, I think RFK will become the most consequential health secretary our nation's ever had. He clearly is on a mission to, as he points out, to make America healthy again. It's very sad that really what's happened over the last 30, 40, 50 years is our nation's become progressively sicker. One of the reasons we lost 1.2 million people during the first couple of years of the COVID outbreak, and many other nations lost far fewer, is that we're a sick nation. And I think Kennedy has a really good plan on how to address chronic disease, including the highly processed foods and the dyes and the additives in our food.
Wow. Did you hear that? Former CDC directors said that RFK Jr. is going to be the most consequential health secretary ever. That is bonkers. Are you kidding me? Send this to anybody who you think has been a doubter of RFK Jr. All right, it's like, oh, you gotta trust the science. Like, former CDC director just said he has a really, really good plan for this. Come on, like we gotta stop drawing. We gotta stop playing these games over here. Like this is good stuff. I also want to share this little clip right here from the Ingram angle with RFK Jr. Check this out.
I have a list in my head, and we have a generic list of the kind of people that, if you've been involved in good science, you got nothing to worry about. If you care about public health, you got nothing to worry about. If you're in there working for the pharmaceutical industry, then I'd say you should move out and work for the pharmaceutical industry.
Sounds like some solid logic to me. Really, I love it. But let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you thought about RFK Jr. Addressing HHS. Let me know what you thought about some of those clips. I thought they were really, really good. Let me know what you thought about RFK Jr. suggesting that DOGE is going to use some of their technology to restore a lot more transparency to Medicaid. I'm sure there's going to be some people in my audience who are going to be directly affected by this. Let me know if you're excited by this or if you're worried by this. I'm genuinely curious about that conversation. And let me know what you think about some of the thoughts that the former CDC director had to say about RFK Jr. and his plans to make America healthy again. I'm so curious about that. Also, if you are able to, go ahead and check out the newsletter and let me know what you thought about that. I get a lot of emails from people talking about how much they appreciate, how much they like the newsletter, and it just really makes my day. I saw one comment recently, I think this was on YouTube, and they said that this was a really profound newsletter, and that just really made me happy. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. Like I said, it's completely free to sign up, but if you do want to be a paid subscriber, it would mean the world to me. Okay, guys, that's going to be this video. I hope it finds you well. I hope it makes sense, and I just hope you have a great and wonderful day. All right, episode's over already. Geez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.